Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leni Ureña Valerio. I'm the Associate Director for Program Development in the Latin American Iberian Institute. Welcome to the LAII Mellon Endowment Field Research Grant Information Session. The purpose of this session is to familiarize you with the process of applying for an FRG. Today, I will be giving you an overview of the grant, including eligibility requirements, allowable expenses, the application materials a student must submit, post-award expectations, and key deadlines. At the end, we'll have a Q&A session. Please note that the Q&A will not be recorded, but students viewing this presentation later are welcome to contact me with any questions that you may have. My email address is lurena@unm.edu. And if you contact me via email, I will be more than happy to share a copy of this presentation with you. So you have access to all the links that I have included in this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so what is the LAII Mellon Endowment Field Research Grant? So it is basically a travel research award that allows students to conduct early stage research in Latin America. That is, it helps students at the master's level to conduct research for their thesis, and at the PhD level to pilot their dissertation research projects. Other goals of the funds include supporting students in creating a network of contacts for current and future research, familiarize themselves with information sources relevant to their studies, and the funds also help students to learn about Latin American languages, cultures, and the field sites. So what is the eligibility? So this funding opportunity is open to UNM master's student and PhD students from all disciplines, including professional ones. If you are a PhD student, you must be at the pre-candidacy level, meaning that you cannot be that far along in your research process, but you should be at the preliminary stages of your dissertation. This funding opportunity is open to all international students, and citizens of Latin American countries enrolled at UNM are also eligible to receive field research grants to conduct research in their home countries, provided that they have no substantial field research experience in that country. Previous FRG recipients may reapply only if conducting preliminary research on a substantially new project. If this is your case, please be aware that committee members evaluating your application will be especially interested in knowing whether the earlier research supported by FRG resulted in a paper, publication, a presentation, or additional research funding. So please make sure to include this information in your statement. Okay, so the allowable expenses for this funding opportunity are basically travel expenses. First of all, awards are capped at $3,000, and the funds may be used for round-trip airfare, in-country transportation, housing, per diem, or other research-related expenses such as equipment, photocopies, or books. We strongly recommend that you provide travel estimates based on past experiences in the region or actual costs of reasonable lodging, in-country transportation, and per diem. What we have seen in the past is that some applicants, they include amounts that are not representative of reasonable costs in the region, and that doesn't reflect well on them or the application. So please make sure to do your research so you include reasonable costs in your application. So what are the research criteria? So first of all applicants must demonstrate how their proposed research is directly relevant to the human societies of the region under study. And that is also the case if you're doing animal research. You have to show the connection of how this research is relevant to people living in the country you're studying. So to do so, you may propose to develop ethical collaborations with local communities and institutions. You may propose to create training opportunities or engage in community outreach. Again, you must be at the conducting a master's thesis or piloting dissertation research to be able to receive the funding. And group projects and joint applications are not permitted. Applicants planning collaborative research must submit individual research statements that clearly outline their specific roles, objectives, and contributions within the broader project. So you may be part of a research collaboration, but your proposal must reflect your individual participation in it. Also, research destination must be a Spanish or Portuguese-speaking country in Latin America, and your research must be between 2 weeks and 4 months in duration. Also, you'll have 12 months following April 16, 2026 to conduct your research. Most of our students, they go during the summer time, but for some research projects, our summer is winter in Latin America, which is not a convenient time to travel. And that's why we provide 12 months for you to complete your field research. So what are the applications materials? So first of all, you have to submit an application form. You have to submit a completed application form through InfoReady at this link that I'm providing. You also must submit a research statement, which is 3 to 4 page long, double space. And please make sure that this statement is carefully edited, clearly describing the following: the proposed project, the purpose and goals of the research, the research design and methods. Statements should be written in plain, accessible language. Please remember that the faculty reviewing your application, they come from different disciplines, and they might not be aware of the technical language that you're using in your field. So please avoid jargon. And if you must use technical or disciplinary terminology, please define clearly all your terms. And also, it is recommended that you include a bibliography to demonstrate familiarity with the relevant scholarship in your field. Okay, so you must include an itinerary with phases of research. You can include a phase 1, preliminary research. Phase 2 would be the field research in the site, and phase 3, post-research activity. And for each of these phases, please indicate approximate dates that you'll be spending in this phase, the locations, and the planned activities. Okay, you will also be required to submit a letter of recommendation from your principal faculty advisor. And this is a letter that the faculty will submit directly through InfoReady. Okay. The other piece that you need to include is a current CV or resume. You also need to submit unofficial graduate transcripts, evidence of applying for supplement funding. You will also be required to submit a budget and budget justification. It is a form that you will download from InfoReady and then upload again with your expenses. Also, an airfare quote. And this is optional, but is strongly encouraged that you submit letters of support from in-country contacts. Okay, this is very important piece of the application process. Actually, it will be required after you are awarded the funds, but it is important that you begin this process now because it takes a long time to receive approval from the Human Subjects Institutional Review Board. So in order to receive the funding, all awardees must submit their projects to the UNM IRB for an approval or a determination of extension. So the way that you request this is by scheduling a consultation, either by using this Smartsheet form, this link that I'm providing here, or emailing at irbmaincampus@unm.edu. When you do that, you will provide a description of your project, and then they will let you know whether you need to go through the whole IRB approval or if you can receive an exemption right away because your project doesn't need such approval. If you need to go through the process of approval, there is a human research protections training certificate that you will need to submit that along with the approval to receive funding from us. The same thing goes for the institutional animal care and use committee approval. You must contact this office to make sure that you have the appropriate permission to carry out your research in the field. And here is the link to learn more about what information you need to submit for such approval. You also need to, again, once you receive the funding, you'll be required to register your travel through the Global Education Office. And I'm providing here the link to register your travel. And then once you come back from the field, there are certain requirements that we ask students to fulfill. First, you must meet an itinerary and receipt of your airfare as confirmation of your purchase within 1 week of receiving the funds. Also must submit a report once you come back from the field, summarizing your research activities, plus 3 to 4 photos from the field, and we provide guidelines about these photos. And you also will be required to participate in the FRG colloquium in fall 2026. Also, you'll be required to acknowledge LAII FRG support in any publication resulting from this research experience. So the deadline to apply is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. All the application form and all supporting materials must be in by 11:59 p.m. And once this deadline passes, the portal will be closed and you won't be able to submit, to add materials or submit your application. So here's my contact information. Again, please contact me with any questions you may have about the application process. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, I will be more than happy to share a copy of this PowerPoint presentation so you can have access to all the links that I've included